All right, guys, it finally happened. The new crises have been revealed for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and all of the details in the new Challenger document going over what crises are out, which ones are staying, and how the meta is going to be changing for 2026. Let's dive in. I'm James from Midwest Protocol, and in today's video, we're going to be covering all of the new changes coming to Marvel Crisis Protocol in 2026. We're going to be looking at all the new crises and how that adjusts your list going forward for the next year. Starting off, there were 5 new extracts and 5 new secures revealed in the most recent transmission. Boy, oh boy, a lot of these are pretty unique. Most of them, if not all of them, are a shape that we have never seen before. There's a few key highlights just to be fully aware of what they are. Now, the first thing is there are no more multi-extracts, meaning no character can carry more than one extract. They have completely removed any sort of crisis that allows you to have more than one at a time on a single character. And a lot of the new crises, I think 4 out of the 5, have the limited keyword or limited designation on them, which means that they are only able to carry one. So that is kind of a big deal, and that's potentially a trend that will be kind of going forward. It'll be interesting to see in 2027 if they revert back to a few crises that allow you to carry more than one. 4 of the 5 new extracts return to their respective starting locations every cleanup phase. There's a lot of the Pez dispenser, however you want to call them, vending machine extracts that are coming to the game. So what that means is your characters are going to have to move to their original spot where they got the extract, interact, receive the extract, and then no matter where they are at the end of the round, they lose that extract. It goes back to the original starting spot, and you have to repeat that process over and over again. There are 3 asset and 2 civilian extracts, which is important for various team tactics cards or steals. Another unique thing that are coming with these new extracts and secures is that there is a 2 VP extract. That's the first time we've ever seen that, and it requires 2 allies contesting to interact. The idea behind it is that this extract is so big it requires 2 people to pick it up. That same extract requires an additional ally to be within range 2 of the extract holder at the end of the extract holder's activation, otherwise they will drop it. Also, the 2 VP extract effectively can't be stolen due to the wording of it. There is also a new secure type, which is a zone, and it's basically a pay to flip with an arc. And this has been added to the core rules that goes over how arcs work. I imagine that zones will become very, very common going forward. Finally, one of the key things to be aware of is that there are extracts and secures now affecting defense or attack dice with rerolls or additional dice. Okay, with all of that said, with a high overview finished, let's deep dive into each one. So we're going to be starting with the extracts. If you're following along or reading the panel to play yourself, we're just going to start from the top to bottom. And the first one is actually an extract that has been in the game for a little bit now, and that is Jailbreak leads to mass mutant escape. This is a 20 threat extract with 4 different possible civilians to score 1 VP each on. And this is also one of the 4 extracts that will return back to their original starting spot at every cleanup phase. The other aspect of this is that it has the limited keyword or limited designation within it. So that means you can only hold 1 prisoner whenever you're playing this extract. And finally, it has this special ruling where if you are within range 5 of any battlefield edge and not within range 1 of a cell, you will drop that prisoner at the end of your activation. So you have to end within the middle of the board somewhat or around the cell, otherwise you will end up dropping the prisoner. The second extract that is coming to the game is Evidence of Experimental Soldiers Exposed. It's 19 threat with 3 different extracts on the mid line. Each one of those can score 1 VP each, and they are assets. Whenever you're holding one, whenever you are attacked, you get to re-roll 1 defense dice. And then during the cleanup phase, they will go back to their server or back to their original starting spot, and you'll have to go interact and pick them up every single time. The third extract coming to the game is Sentinel Schematics Sabotaged. It has 17 threat, and there are 4 extracts on the board. Each one of those is an asset that score 1 VP each. They also will return during the cleanup phase back to their starting spot, but while holding them, character that's holding them add 1 additional die to their attack roll when they're attacking a character within range 2. That's the first time we've seen that as far as within an extract or secure within the game. The fourth extract coming in the game is Salvaged Supplies Fuel Resistance Efforts. It has 18 threat, and there are 2 different extracts on the board that score 2 VPs each. This is the extract that requires having an ally contesting the supply to be able to pick them up. So if another allied non-grunt character is contesting the supplies, they can pick them up whenever they're interacting with them. And the supplies are also limited as well, so you can only hold 1. And then when a character that's holding a supply ends its activation, if it's not within range 2 of another allied character, it drops those supplies. So you effectively are walking with or carrying them together, loading them, however you want to describe it, the supplies, moving them across the board. Finally, whenever the supplies would be moved to another character, for example, with a steal or any sort of card that potentially would move an extract or a leadership, things like that, like Kingpin's leadership, they are dropped instead. So you cannot just steal and immediately move them to you. They would have to fall to the ground, and then you'd have to require 2 characters to be contesting it for one of them to be able to pick it up. It's going to be quite annoying for a lot of lists. I'm certain of it. Finally, the last extract to come to the game is going to be Surprise Assault, Mutant Homes Destroyed. This is a new 16 threat extract. This is the first extract that has 16 threat on it. So in theory, you could end up with a choice of a 16 threat extract and a 16 threat secure. There are 4 civilians on the board, each one scoring 1 victory point, and you can only hold 1 per person. During the cleanup phase, you will remove the civilians and place them back onto their original starting spots. This is the 4th extract, where at the cleanup phase, they just return to the starting position where you have to go and interact to get them back every single round. So there you go. Those were the 5 new extracts. Now, let's take a look at the 5 new secures. The first secure coming in this Crisis pack is Lockdown, Security Systems Stymie Breakout. 18 threats, and this has been in the game for a while now. It has 4 different secure options, and you can test within range 2 instead of range 1. Then every round going forward, you will roll a die to see which secure is shut down for that round. The second secure coming to the game is X-Men Infiltrate Secret Weapons Facility. This is a 17 threat secure with 4 different zones on the board. And this is the first time we've seen these type of secures, and they are a unique secure that are coming to the game. That's actually been an update to the core rules to allow them to be in the game, and we'll go over what those rules are in just a moment. But each one of these will score 1 victory point. They are a pay to flip. You have to roll dice equal to your energy defense, and if you contain more offensive successes than the number of healthy enemy characters contesting, you will gain control of that secure. During the score VPs part of the cleanup phase, if a player controls 2 or more grids or secures that have at least 1 enemy character in their arc, that we'll go over what that looks like, they will score 1 additional VP. And then during the cleanup phase, finally, if you control the grid, the secure, each player will then place that grid and rotate it however you want within range 1 of its current position. So every round, whenever you control it at the cleanup phase, you just will move it and rotate it, changing the arc in which that secure is facing. The third secure coming to the game is Power Overload, Factory Goes Up in Flames. And this is a 19 threat secure with 4 different secures on the board, each one scoring 1 VP each. And during the score VPs part of the cleanup phase, if a player is scoring 2 or more of the secures, and at least 2 of those secures are not within range 5 of each other, that player scores 1 additional VP. So effectively, if you're scoring 1 on one side of the board and 1 on the opposite side of the board, or vice versa, you will gain an additional victory point. During the cleanup phase, for each power conduit or the secure, if 3 or more characters are within range 1 of that secure, each of those characters suffers 1 wound. The fourth secure coming into the game is Survivor's Search for Safe Shelter. This is another 20 threat secure. There are 3 secures in a very unique triangle shape. Each one of these will score 1 victory point. And whenever a character is contesting one of these secures and they are targeted by an attack, one other allied character that is contesting the same secure may spend 1 power. And if it does, the defender, the original character, adds 1 die to its defense roll. And the character can only add dice to its roll, and this way once per turn. So there's a really cool way to add defensive dice in this secure setup. That's the first time we've ever seen that whatsoever. Very, very cool. Last but not least, the 5th secure coming into the game is going to be Assault Ships Make Sweeping Search. This is a 16 threat secure, And there are 4 spotlight tokens that are going to be placed on the board, and each one of those will score 1 victory point. And once per turn, when a character is attacking during its activation, if the defender is within range 2 of a spotlight, so in that small circle around the secure, the attacker may reroll 1 of its attack dice. So those were the 5 new secures coming to the game. I'm super intrigued by the new triangle shape, survivor search for safe shelter. There's also the new zone secure. Before we move forward, let's look at what the zone rulings are, so that you are aware of how to play this new secure whenever it comes into your game. With the new tokens, there's going to be a 90-degree angle on the token itself that represents the direction of the arc. The arc will have a range of 3 from that token. And any part of a base that's within that arc, from one edge of the arc to the other, if a base is touching it, is considered within that arc. Finally, whenever that zone is placed within range 1, like at the end of this cleanup phase, the player placing the token can rotate it any direction, changing the arc going forward. So with the new extracts and secures coming to the game, that means there's gotta be some that are out. They're going away, they're going bye-bye. And some of these are juicy, juicy picks. Let's take a look at which ones are leaving, being rotated out of the challenger document. So let's look at the extracts that are going to be leaving the game. Deadly Legacy Virus Cured. Fear Grips World as Worthy Terrorized Cities. Struggle for the Cube continues. Terrigen Canisters Fuel Doomsday Device. It only was around for 1 year. And the Montesi Formula found. And finally, let's look at the secures that are being rotated out. Cosmic Invasion, Black Order Descends on Earth. Deadline to Destruction also was only in the game for 1 year. Intrusions open across city as seals collapse. Mayor Fisk vows to find missing witnesses. Mcran or Mcron Crystal gets heroes home, another that was only here for 1 year. And Riot Spark over Extremis 3.0. That one was probably the most surprising to me to see gone. A lot of these have been in the game for a very long time, if not from the very beginning. And it's crazy to see some of them leaving the game, but I'm excited for a new fresh take. Man, no more hammers is a wild, wild thought. It's gonna be the Wild West to see how everyone adjusts their lists, getting rid of one of the most played extracts in the game. So there you go. That is all of the new crises coming to the game and the various extracts and secures that are no longer going to be a part of the traditional challenger document. What do you guys think of that? How are you guys feeling about these changes? Are you excited about the new crises coming to the game? Any of them piquing your fancy? Which ones are you most excited to play, to get on the board, to see how it works? And which ones are you gonna miss the most? Are you gonna be bummed about losing Extremis 3.0? Are you sad to see hammers no longer in the game? Who knows? It might come back. It might. You never know. I don't think it will, but you never know. I'm personally very excited to play the new zone secure type. It seems very, very fun to play. I also think the new supplies will be very interesting to see how they interact and to see how players deal with the requirement of 2 allies being within range 1 to pick it up, to interact. That's a very cool flavor, and I'm excited to see how players and lists adjust to allow that to happen. Well, if you are enjoying these videos and you're enjoying the content, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on any future content we have. We're going to be covering the Prime Sentinels in the next video to go over all of their details and all the stat lines that they have. And I don't want you to miss out on those videos. But we also don't want you to miss out on the future battle reports coming down the line, because we got a lot of content coming, cooking up some good stuff. It's going to be a blast. I don't want you to miss out. Comment below what you think about these new changes, and if you are excited about the changes, if you're a little weary of the changes, or what are you fearful of? Or are you in this weird limbo where you're like, man, these crises look sweet, but I'm more excited about the new character updates coming in June of 2026. So hopefully that'll be coming. Overall, I'm pumped about the state of the game right now. I think we're in a really good spot for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm James from Windows Protocol. Now, it's time to get back to gaming.